Excellent. All right. Well, welcome you guys to the Start Rebels Zoom Room virtual meeting call. It is Sunday, May 1st. Can you guys believe that? Isn't that crazy? It's May. So exciting. So exciting. And we are heading into a really, really great time of year when lots of people are looking to shed some clothes, get feeling a whole heck of a lot better for the summertime. And the cool thing is that we've got something so amazing that can truly help people transform their bodies and their lives. So I want to welcome all you guys here. I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedules to be here. For those of you that might be listening into this call, we are START associates or START graduates like myself. And we are part of a company called Isagenix. So what you hear on this call here may help you, take your life to a whole new level, as well as take your body to a whole new level. But I just want to put it out there that we do have a disclaimer, which is in the verbiage that you'll read if you're watching this call on YouTube. And the bottom line is that no two bodies are the same, all right? We offer solutions for people to help transform their bodies. And what your goals are different from what someone else's goals are, and how you accomplish them will completely be different from how someone else will accomplish them. So we make no claims to cure, prevent, treat, or diagnose any illness or disease. We make no claims about how your body will transform in what amount of time, because again, you're different than everyone else, but we can guarantee that you will really enjoy the process, be surrounded by great support and coaching. As well, we have an opportunity for people to change their lives financially, which you may hear on this call, you will hear on this call. And again, what you put into it is what you get out of it. So yeah, I'll mute everyone. What you put into it is what you'll get out of it. And so we cannot make any claims as far as, what your earnings may be or how fast that could happen. It's completely up to you and the work that you put in. So on that note, I'm just going to go into, let me just go ahead and mute everyone here.
Oh, where's this? Is there no thing in here?
Okay, can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up. All right, so awesome. So when it's time for you guys to jump on, you can unmute. Thanks, guys. All right, so we've got some awesome events coming up, but first I want to just thank those two speakers that we have on the call today. Tara Cooper and Jason Snider are here to share their excellence, their grace, and their wisdom with each of you, and I'll be giving them a great intro here in a moment. I have been working diligently to get amazing speakers lined up for you guys for the next couple of months leading up to Celebration. And we pretty much have the schedule booked up until beginning of July. So I'm so grateful and so excited because the content, the conversations I've been having with these leaders, and I'm actually choked just thinking about it because they are just so excited to share with you guys. And each and every one of the people who have come on to this call and shared on this call have so much to offer. And I just love the way that this is going. So I'm super stoked about what's coming up in the coming weeks. So the 14th of May, we have a Super Saturday in Toronto. How many of you are planning to get to that event, Super Saturday in Toronto? Awesome, it's gonna rock the house. So we have Oliver and Vanessa Woodburn, who are gonna be speaking at that event. As well, I believe Paige and Ryan McNaughton will be on stage too. And yeah, I saw Rebecca's head pop in. And other amazing people will be there as well. So Saturday, May 14th, which is also the day for the Crystal Director bonus deadline day, which is super exciting, all right? So remember that we're all here to support one another. If we can help you drive towards that goal and smash it out of the park, let us know, because that's what we're here to do. Something you may hear on tonight's call might just help take you to that next place. Tuesday nights in Barrie, Live Out Loud, a vintage throne on Dunlop Street. I will be going over products tomorrow night or Tuesday night, so I will be speaking on that call. We've also got Wednesday nights in Toronto. The Start Peeps are in the lower level. It's on Wilson Avenue, and then the retired Start Peeps are upstairs. All right, so Wednesday nights in Toronto, you can just look up Live Out Loud Toronto on Facebook and you'll find that information. Thursday nights, 8 p.m., Live Out Loud live Zoom call. They had Jimmy Smith on there last week. How sweet is that? So they've got amazing speakers every week. And Barrie Wellness Wednesday, next one is May 25th. And I will be speaking and training at that event with the beautiful, no BS police officer hottie, Jen. Jen Perry. How awesome is that? So Jen Perry and I are going to rock the house in Barrie on May 25th. And we have a little eye candy hosting, little James Bullock to start us all off. All right, so hopefully you guys can make it out to that event. He's going to share his IsaBody journey and his amazing business testimonial as well. And then University in Action is coming up really fast, June 10th to 12th in Toronto. So make sure you get your tickets. Don't want to miss on that. So without further ado, I am so excited. I'm like so excited to introduce you to our first speaker. And, you know, as I said before, the purpose of these calls is to bring you guys together, all right, to help you guys find a place where you can share, you can learn, you can laugh, you can really come together to really support one another. And when I first started Isagenix, this beautiful woman was one of the first people that I reached out to. I actually went to Pam and Kevin Barnum's house with her, and I didn't even know who she was. I just called her out of the blue and said, I heard you're going, and I really want to go. Can I come with you? And she was actually expecting their second baby, I believe. So Tara Cooper is an incredible woman. You can see her with her awesome husband, Cam. He's not too shabby either. They live in Phelpston, Ontario, with their 3 gorgeous kids, Hannah, Jack, and Caitlin. And Tara is a 4-star Golden Circle, 2-star executive. So what does that mean? That means she's done incredible things by helping other people. That's what that means. I think she started 6 years ago. She's going to correct me on that if I'm wrong. She was formerly a teacher, and I believe she still is a teacher. She's just not a teacher in a school. She's a teacher of life and a teacher of the universe to people who are really looking to transform themselves through personal development as well as through business. If I'm frozen here, I think you guys can still hear me, so I'll keep talking. Tara is innovative. She's a professional networker. She is a student of life and the universe. And hopefully you guys can still hear me because I think I'm frozen still. I might just wait 1 second here. Can you guys hear me? I'm back. And Tara is a professional networker. She's a student of life, a student of the universe, and she's absolutely a heart on legs. So much so that she won the Heart of Isagenix. I believe it was in 2013, which as far as I'm concerned, that's like the Oscar of Isagenix. I love people receiving recognition for what they're doing, but I truly believe that this is a company, a business of people helping people. And, you know, that award speaks for itself. So on that note, I would love to have Tara, if you could unmute yourself, please join us on the call. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Tinya. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to keep it together here. You know me, I get emotional pretty easily. Anyway, I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I know that this is somewhat new to me, actually. Last week, I watched my very first Zoom call recorded, and I absolutely loved learning from Scott and the other speakers, actually Jacqueline. And what an awesome environment, Tinya. Thank you so much for all you do, because you're really creating a beautiful place for everyone here. So I just want to say a big shout out to you, because without you, this wouldn't be happening. So thank you, Tinya. So I guess now, Tinya, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm talking about product first, correct? All right. So a little bit about myself. Obviously, Tinya has done a really great job of introducing who I am. And yes, there's a picture of my 3 kids just behind us here, and they're all in bed, so that's why we're both here. But I'd have to say that Isagenix came into our life at a great time. Clearly, it was 6.5 years ago that I said yes. But really, it was not until September of 2009 that I actually decided, and that's the big key word, is decided, to get these products into me every day. There's been ups and downs, of course, just like with everybody, but what I will say is don't give up. So there's going to be those moments where, you know, maybe the products aren't feeling the same as they did at the beginning, or you just need a recharge, or maybe the business has got you down, but don't give up. I swear it's the worst thing you could do, and I almost did last fall. So I'm just speaking from experience and from the heart. And what I do want to say is these products are fantastic, and without these products we wouldn't be here. I would not be in a company unless I 100% believed in the products. So I was actually really excited that Tinya asked me to speak about the isoline bars. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. The isoline bars, of course, are one of those things that for 18 months I didn't eat because I was with braces, and I found them really tough to eat because they'd always get stuck. But now that I have them back again, I absolutely love them. But more importantly, I love them for my kids. We have 3 kids. One is 8. Our daughter Hannah is 8. Our son is 7, and his name is Jack. And our youngest, Caitlin, is 4. And it's such peace of mind. I mean, in the morning, sometimes they get up before us. Actually, most times they get up before us. And every morning before school, they usually have at least a half a bar with something else for breakfast. But the great thing is they can get their own bar. So they don't have to wait for mom or dad to get up. Most of the time he's out at work. But it's just so nice to know that they've actually got that nutrition in their body first before anything else. And if they're still hungry, then great, I'll make them something else. What I also love about them is they're easy to take with them to school. Now, obviously, you have to be aware of nuts and things like that for school, but there are some bars that are safe. And we have actually sent them in. The only caution I have for any parents when you're sending the bars to school is that they look like dessert. So we've had some issues before where the teachers won't let our kids, or maybe not even just the teachers, because I know that there's a lot of students that supervise lunches, and they'll say to our kids, you can't have that, that's a dessert, so you need to wait until the afternoon. And sure enough, I've actually had to write notes in their lunch bags to say, please allow the ice cream bar in the morning or the afternoon. They're actually very healthy. So of course that makes the kids all really wonder because it looks like chocolate, but and it is chocolate, but they're anyway, it's just a great peace of mind to know that if they're not really great eaters to begin with, which some kids are super picky and it's really tough, it makes it really easy. So, I feel like I could talk about the bars really, really easily right now, just based on my own love for them and the way that our family uses them. I know Cam, he takes them with him to work all the time. It's just great to be able to have on hand for those moments where you're not really prepared, or for him, he's a canine handler. So there's times where he gets tied up and can't eat a proper meal. So to have a bar on the run is really, really simple. So
let me say something too.
Yes.
And you can also, it's a great thing to have with you wherever, to when that conversation comes up about just eating properly. I deal with a lot of police officers and they'll do the drive-through and they'll eat crap all the time. And I just say, hey, here's another option for that muffin, that bagel, that whatever is just sugars. And I'll just hand them a bar. And I don't even care if it goes anywhere past that. But sure enough, at some point hey, that was pretty good. What's going on with that? So it's a nice icebreaker too. Those and the little Isagenix as well. But the bars are great just to hand to someone that like a shift worker or something. That here you go, just try it. And don't even say this is what I eat. This is what we eat. You've probably heard about it, whatever. Have it, eat it, get it in you, and I don't even say anything past that. So it's convenient for sure, and it's full of proteins and good stuff for it.
I'll just add a few things. Thank you for adding that. One thing I do really love using are our tools. I know you probably have talked about this before in these calls, but isaproduct.com tonight, I just thought, well, maybe there's something that I don't really remember learning, or something that I would like to teach you guys tonight about the bars. So I just went to isaproduct.com under mini meals and snacks, and I was able to print off 2 really great documents. One is specifically about the yogurt dipped raisin bar. It's a document specifically about that bar, as well as, a document just about all the other bars. So we do have 6 flavors for those of you who maybe aren't aware, and all 6 flavors are great for different reasons, obviously. And I love that they don't just have everything chocolate, because there are some people that just are not chocolate people. So, we've got the lemon passion, we've got the cashew caramel, which actually Cam just said to me, we haven't ordered those in a while, we need to get some of those again. So it's nice to just have lots of options. And then of course the yogurt dipped oatmeal raisin, chocolate peanut crunch, which is my son's favorite, chocolate decadence, which is my youngest daughter's favorite, and the chocolate cream crisp is my oldest daughter's favorite. So we literally go through boxes of these things on a monthly basis, and we buy the six of them to get the 10% discount. So again, go to isaproduct.com. You'll see it that they're gluten-free, which is awesome. Low glycemic. There is even a kosher label on these. So, I think it's just great. It's just another extension of our amazing protein. So I hope that covers it there, Tinya.
That's awesome. Thank you, Tara. Big shout out. I like the chocolate decadence too, Cam. I think they're my faves. I think that's the one that you said. Sweet. Yeah. Awesome. Do you have what's the BV on them, Tara? Do you have that? I think it's like 26. Did you say that?
Oh, you know what? With the Canadian now, I don't remember, and I didn't look that up.
26 dB or something like that. Awesome. All right, you guys, bars in the back office. I love what Tara said about them being such simple, good nutrition. And, you know, especially if you've got little ones or you know people that have little ones, because it's really hard to get good quality protein into our kids, because you don't want to really necessarily, you know, resort to cuts of meat, which is what typically my kids used to have, unfortunately, but for Isagenix. And lots of peanut butter, and we can't send peanut butter. I lived on that stuff, but we can't do that anymore. So we have the solutions. Yeah, Scott too, which is fantastic. So thank you so much for the tips. And one of the things that I love is I find that some of the bars, depending on the flavor, I don't love a whole bar. So I'll chop it up into the little bite-sized pieces like we do for the parties and just keep them in snacky bags and just have them even in the freezer, just something to chew on. So super. And it's so fun having you here too, Cam. Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, you guys, great. So now, Tara's going to be back. She's going to do our belief piece later on in the call here. But now we have the incredible, the one, the only, Isabody finalist to be. Jason Snider is in the house, so I'll just share his little bio here as well. I know we've heard from Jace before.
Hang on, Tinya. You cannot sell the guy short as finalist to be. Champion to be.
Champion to be. That's right, exactly. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant, of course, winner. But I'm waiting to hear that you're a finalist, and then we'll. All right. So Jason lives in Newmarket with his gorgeous wife, Sarah, and their two beautiful kids, Leah and Joel, and baby on the way, of course. They're expecting their third baby. He is a Crystal executive, started in January 2013, and again, started his wife, he'll share the story, but I think it's kind of funny. Sarah was expecting, so basically she threw Jay under the bus and told him he needed to do a cleanse. He's a full-time high school math teacher, hottest math teacher around, I'd say. He was gym teacher and math teacher, and he did his teacher training in Perth, Australia, which I just think is so fantastic. I think the more that we can, you know, send our kids and our loved ones and travel ourselves, the better. And he went to Mac in Hamilton where he met Sarah, and he's gained, you had said 15 pounds, I'm sure there's more than that, of lean muscle, and dropped 40 libbies of excess body fat that was hanging around. And he was an Isabody Challenge honorable mention of 2015, but soon to be Isabody winner 2016, Jason Snider.
All right, everyone can hear me. Thanks, Tinya, for that awesome introduction. And don't hold your breath on that one. I did last year and it didn't really pan out, but and really with the Isabody, like honestly, I've had so many people come up to me and just like congratulate me on my results and everything like that. So it's been really encouraging. And I've come from a different place. Like I think a year ago, it was all about me. And now, right now, it's just, I love doing it and just showing people what's possible. So if you have any questions at any time, please guys, reach out to me. I'll send you my meal plan. Like, I don't care. Like it's yours to look at, whatever it is that you want to see. I'm happy to share it. So just quickly, my story, I know Tinya already alluded to it a little bit. It was actually December of 2012 that we officially got started. Sarah got started first with some shakes, and then January with our first auto ship order, she kind of said, well, you know, like there is this nutritional cleanse thing, and I'm pregnant right now, so maybe you should try it and just see if it's actually legit. Prior to that time, we spent about 6 months just digging for dirt on the company. Like we both went to kin at McMaster, had a lot of friends in the health field, and just wanted to like just really know, is this something that we should be putting in our body, and especially Sarah while she was pregnant. So we said yes, and then I was voluntold to do the cleanse. 15 pounds, 12 and a half inches of body fat in a really short period of time. And felt great. And the biggest thing was getting my energy back. And with that extra energy, I decided, like, you know what, let's start working out and see what happens. Went on to lose about 40 pounds, like Tinya had said. And then since then, I'm actually up 20. So I'm halfway back to where I started, which is pretty wild. So, and from last April, when I was honorable mention, I was 155. Right now, when I finished on Thursday, I was 170. So I put on 15 pounds in the last year, just lean muscle. So it's this amp line is absolutely nuts. It's out of this world. So if you haven't tried the amp line, big push for that for anyone who's like, if you're working out at all, you should be using the amp line, because really, like, you want to be gaining lean muscle and holding on to that lean muscle as you age. That's going to keep you healthy for the rest of your life. But that's my story, and that's where we're at. So last week, I know Scott did a phenomenal job of just talking about how to just connect with people, really. And the way that he presented it last week, just talking about connecting versus prospecting. When we go out into the real world and we're not online, and you're talking to people, just the way that you approach it, you shouldn't have like an agenda. And when you're going out there thinking I'm prospecting people, you have like that hidden agenda, and that kind of comes off. And even though you might not necessarily think that you're doing that, if that is what you're doing, that verbiage, prospecting, is kind of not that good. So if you go out there, like Scott had said last week, just about connecting, you're really getting to know people, and it's all about them. It's all about them. You want to develop relationships with people. And he did a phenomenal job about that. And just talking about how we can bring up a conversation, asking questions, really getting to know people. Today, Tinya has actually asked me to talk about how do you actually then turn those people that you've connected with into someone that you're going to share the information with. So how do you get someone to take a look at the information that we have to offer? And obviously we've got, we are a solutions-based company, and that's like our tagline with the company. And we've got both product solutions as well as business solutions. And really the best thing about the company is that we have both. I love the fact that we have both product solutions and an income opportunity, because I would be using these products for life, but I wouldn't be as passionate about it if there wasn't the chance to get them for free, because I consume a lot of them. But really, it is amazing that you don't know where people are. You don't know what's going on with their bank account. Perception is not reality. So when someone's driving around in a brand new BMW, that doesn't mean that they have it all together. So you have no idea where people are at financially, and having that business opportunity, you never know who's going to like bite on that opportunity. So you really have to be confident in both. And I know in previous calls we've talked about your levels of belief in the company, the products, all those things. And I'm not going to allude on all of those, but really you need to have belief in the product and the opportunity. You have to have both. And if you don't have 10 out of 10 belief in both, I challenge you to do something to get your belief up to 10, because you really don't want to be inviting people if you're not confident in either the business or in the products. So just to be in complete integrity, I hadn't, until last April, I had never done a full 30-day cleansing program. And when I decided that I wanted to make that big push last April, to be an IsaBody finalist, I said, I'm going to do a full 30-day cleanse and actually do it by the book. And that's where I got the best results to date. And I can say you need to be a product of the product first. So if you haven't done, and obviously there's people that might have, they might be pregnant or breastfeeding or whatever, that you can't do a cleanse, but you have to be a product of the product. If you're just ordering these products and then dumping them in the garbage, your business is not going to grow. I'm sorry. Like, you have to be passionate about these products. So that's the first thing. So you have to be passionate about that. And then in terms of the business, to be passionate about the business, you can, just because you haven't been successful yourself, you can go off of someone else's success. So I know I've seen like Tara's success as a teacher, and like so amazing. Like, I don't think I would be so passionate about this opportunity if it wasn't for her story. So going off of other people's stories, what other people have done, that allows you to be more effective when you present the business opportunity as well. So just because you haven't had success yourself in terms of the business, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be sharing the business with other people. So you have to be able to share both product and business. And Tony Robbins' quote, "Your past does not equal your future." Just because you haven't had past success, that doesn't mean that you will not be successful in the future. If you build your belief in the business, have a great product experience, and you're in integrity with the products, the sky's the limit with this company. Like, we've got the best of both. So it's unreal. So a few things I'm going to go dive into kind of super fast, hopefully. That was just kind of the groundwork. This book right here, if you do not own it, you need to get it, and you need to read it, and then you need to reread it, and then you need to practice what's in it. It's Eric Worre's book, Go Pro. And if you're new to this, you have to have this book. Like, this is the manual to network marketing. And this is everyone. Like, and honestly, if you haven't read this book at least once, I don't know, you shouldn't be doing any network marketing at all. I've got the audio. I've listened to the audio probably about a couple dozen times, read the book 3 or 4 times, and I just went back to it because when you're looking at presenting this, whether it's the product or the business, this is the book that gives the steps. And Eric Worre gives a phenomenal framework, and there's a psychology behind what he does in presenting to the opportunity, whether it's business or product. So really, it's looking at, like, his skill number 2, present or inviting people. So his framework is, before you go out and invite people, number 1, you have to be emotionally detached from the outcome. The person's going to say no, then you're a little bit more you're more accepting when they say yes, and you're like, oh wow, that's awesome, right? So fantastic. So just be emotionally detached. The second, like, kind of overlying thing when you're offering business or product to the person is be yourself. You can't be someone you're not. Don't pretend like you're making millions of dollars when you haven't made a cent yet. Don't pretend that, like, you have you've had an amazing product experience. That don't say that you've lost 20 pounds doing this when you've lost 1. Like, you have to be in integrity, and you have to be yourself. Don't try to fake it. Don't try to, like, be someone else that you're not, because people pick up on that. The third thing is you have to be passionate and enthusiastic. If you're going at it and saying, I really want you to take a look at what I'm doing, people are not going to join you. They're just going to say no. Like, you have to be passionate about it. You have to have some excitement. You have to be engaged. You have to be at a different level. And then the last thing is your posture. So if you're approaching people and you're like, and you're just like, yeah, do you want to check out what I'm doing? Would you like to see, I think we have something that we can make a lot of money with. Like, you have to be posturing that, like, you're confident, and this is going to be the vehicle that's going to make you money, or this is going to be an amazing experience that's going to help them shed that weight that they haven't been able to shed for however many years they've been carrying this excess weight. So that's the background to when you do make the invitation. So making an invitation. So like Scott was saying last week, you have to ask those questions. You have to get to know the person before you have that opportunity to actually invite them to a tool of some sort. And hopefully you are not the tool. Hopefully you are using a tool. And I'll talk about some of my favorites as well. But the first thing is that Eric, when he talks in like GoPro, the first thing is you want to get them on the phone. You can't do this over Messenger over the course of 7 days. So you can't do this on Facebook with messages going back and forth over the course of hours apart. Like, it doesn't work. You have to be on the phone. And then number one, you have to be in a hurry. So people respect people that have little time. And if you like say, look, I just wanted to get a hold of you as quickly as I could. And I just have got like 10 minutes right now. Is it okay to talk? So that's the first thing, is to be in a hurry. Don't drag something out. Okay. So like, you're a professional and you want to just be committed to that time slot that you have to them. And just try to catch them. And you can say, oh, I'm just running out the door. I just thought I'd just give you a quick call. People respect people that are in a hurry. Okay. Second thing is to compliment the person. So maybe say, when we met at Starbucks the other day, you had the really good energy about you. Okay. The way that like you gave me your coffee, like you just had like this light that like you just had a big smile on your face. It was awesome and whatever. So just a genuine compliment. It has to be genuine. It can't be like, I like your hair. Right? So it has to be something that's genuine, right? If they're bald, it really doesn't work. Anyways, so number 1, be in a hurry. Number 2, compliment. And then 3 is the invitation itself. So the invitation, you can either do the direct invitation, the indirect, or the super indirect. And that's what Eric goes through in his book. Direct is where you're basically spilling it out. Do you remember when you said, if Sarah uses this all the time with moms in her mommy and baby class, you said how you're dreading about going back to work. So, well, can I tell you what's allowing me just to do this part-time business and then be at home with my kids? Would it be okay if I share that with you? So just asking them, would it be okay? If it's someone that needs to lose weight and maybe you've heard them complaining about their weight, you say, well, when you were complaining about how like you've tried all these diets and they just haven't been working for you, would it be okay if I shared what it is that I've been doing that I've had really great success with? And most people, if you ask them permission to share something, they're not going to say, no, I don't want to hear, right? They're going to say yes, right? So that's the invitation itself is asking them directly. Secondly, you can ask indirectly. Basically, indirect is just asking for referrals. Say you're a really connected person. I would love to get some people that are in the health field. Okay, so just ask them, do you know anyone that would be willing for this? And then maybe there'll be someone that would be interested. And then there's the super indirect where you basically take it away from them, say, I know this isn't going to be for you. This is not about you. You never have time for this. You never want to do this. The products you'd have no interest in, but do you know anyone? So taking it away, that's the super indirect approach. And that's just where you're going to bring up the product or the opportunity. And then number 4 is the key phrase in everything. Anytime that you're presenting a tool to someone, it's if I something ... would you ... So it's all based on the conversations that you've had, inviting them saying, would you like to take a look? And then if I would add you to our team's private product page, would you be interested in checking it out and seeing if the products are something that you might be interested in? So there's a great tool that we use very successfully, adding people to the product page. Okay, a lot of people share their stories, boom, 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 product exposure, and then we follow up with them on another time. But that's the if I would you. Or if I was to get you on the phone with a friend of mine who is a sports nutritionist that works with professional athletes all the time, and he's been responsible for the results I've been getting, would you be willing to hop on the phone with him? If I would you. Okay, so it's if I would you. If I was to give you a CD to listen to in your car on your commute to work, would you give it a listen? So if I would you. And then those first 4 steps, most people can bang out no problem. And I have to admit, just to be honest, the next 4 steps are the ones I'm the worst at. And most people are the worst at because it's scheduling the appointment from here on out. So step 5 is ask them, when for sure would you be able to listen to the podcast? When for sure would you be able to hop on the call with so-and-so? Typically, it's going to be when would you be able to look at the resource that I'm going to give you? So they will give you a time. So it's Sunday night. They'll say, by tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Great. Okay, so then you say, so this is step 6, confirm it. So tomorrow night at 7 p.m., if I was to get on the phone with you, you will have watched it for sure. And then if they say yes, great, that's your time that you're going to call them at 7 p.m. If they circle around and they say, oh, well, no, I've got such and such tomorrow night. Maybe I need another couple of days. Wednesday night might work better. So Wednesday after 8 p.m. because I've got such and such. Then you say, okay, so Wednesday at 8, if I gave you a call then, you will have watched it for sure. Or you've watched the video or you've whatever, for sure. So you're verifying the time. That's confirmation. So that's the 6th step. Like actually they've confirmed it and they're like, yes. So then you say, so I will call you at such and such a time. Okay, so this is step 7, call you at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And then it's get off the phone as fast as possible. So you've set the appointment because you don't want to be like, oh, okay, how are the kids, blah, 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 blah. They're going to forget all about the appointment. Get off of the phone. That's the appointment's been set. You're being professional. And then you've got time to put that in your day planner. And then it's up to you to actually make the phone call at that point. So that's how you would get someone to look at information, basically, and how you would set an appointment. Cool?
Awesome. You guys give it up for Jason. Whoop, whoop. All right. Any takeaways? You guys have any takeaways? I have a few nuggets here, but does anyone have any takeaways that you want to share and thank Jason for? Unmute yourself in the bottom left. If you want to do a share, you can just go in the chat there too.
Jason, I agree with you 100%. That book is amazing. We use it for our team all the time. It's great. And I just wanted to thank you for your willingness to share all your tips and just be open about your experience with all of us. Because I think, it provides tremendous value to each of us to know that, you're here supporting us, even though we're not financially linked. Like that to me is exactly what this one team culture is all about, is the fact that we know we can reach out to you to say, hey, I've got a guy that's interested. He wants to know your meal plan and you're cool with that. I think it's first class. So thanks for that.
Yeah, no worries.
Absolutely. Any other shout outs there? Awesome. Well, I just love the fact that, Jason talked about being a product of the product. And he also said that, we're all coming from different places. So what your product experience is, it might be sleeping better at night because you haven't slept in years. It might be having more energy to get through your day because you really have been dragging your ass for like a long time. That is life-changing stuff for a lot of people. And you can speak to that when you're a product of the product, right? So I think that is so, so valuable. And, I have a 6-pack just like Jason. It's not showing the same way. However, we're working on it. Next Ice Body, gonna rock it. Yeah. So yeah, we'll have a contest later.
It wasn't photoshopped, I promise.
Not today. Anyhow, so being a product of the product, and he talked about passion. He said passion probably 5 times. Do you think Jason has passion? Yes, that is what people feel from you. They care less about what you're saying. It's about how you're saying it. And as he said, this is about connecting. We're not prospecting. We're not out to get a new one. This is a connecting business. And if you connect with someone, they might remember you 3 years from now when they're ready. And that's awesome because you connected with them, right? So thank you, Jason. Thank you for those amazing tips and reminding everyone how important the GoPro book is. As I mentioned in the chat there, Isagenix is so fantastic for systems for so many things. And Eric Worre has created this incredible system that if you at least follow it, you're going to work on improving your skills. You may tweak it to what works best for you because no two of us are the same. But if you don't start someplace and you don't talk to people, this is going nowhere. So use the GoPro to help you get into some consistent action and to help you start someplace with the template that is really duplicatable for yourself and your team. All right, so this is they're all my favorite parts, but this is one of my favorite parts is working on belief. And so I've asked Tara Cooper to share some insight and information with us about what her belief building tip or takeaway or tool is that she would love to pass on that has made a difference for her in her life and with her Isagenix business. So Tara, pass it back to you, babe.
All right. Can you hear me? I'm good. Okay. I just had to say that, yes, thank you, Jason. Thank you for reminding me about this book because on page 144, I really quickly recognized where I had a dog ear. I do that to my books. I mark my books up. They're well used. I love how it says here, the person you will become in the process. And he really talks about how we change for the better in this profession. And, that's what this is all about for me, because if it wasn't about the personal growth, the money wouldn't mean much. I would not be as grateful as I am today for what the money has provided our family and helped us do for other people. So I have to say that on page 144, for those of you who don't have this book, I'll just read really quickly the bullet points. At its core, this profession is an incubator for personal growth. You'll learn how to face your fears. You'll learn how to solve problems. You'll learn how to feed your mind with positives and protect your mind from negatives. You'll learn how to grow stronger. You'll learn how to lead. And that's just a really quick summary. But it's so true. And, you know, I have to say that if it wasn't for all the growth that I've really immersed myself in, I'm a lifelong learner. I really believe, and I used to say, if I could be a professional student, that's what I would do for a living. So I feel like this company, this environment has allowed me to become a professional student. So a few of the things that I found really useful. 3 years ago, when I was pretty much at the peak of where this business was, I had just received the heart of Isagenix. Thank you, Tinya, for mentioning that. It was definitely one of the best moments of this journey so far. It just solidified the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's really about people, right? And just coming from that space in the heart. But I wrote this 3 years ago, just this weekend, and it said, if you want to change the fruits, you have to change the roots. If you want to change the visible, you have to change the invisible. And that was actually a quote that I read from T. Harv Eker. And it's so true, and that's really what we're doing. We're changing our roots, guys. We're changing the invisible. Some people, actually most people, unless they're people that live with you, are not seeing that invisible stuff you're working on every day. But the more you keep doing it, the visible will become totally noticeable by other people. And you better believe that when you continue to change those roots every day, the invisible stuff that people don't see, you are going to attract the people that either want that for themselves or have already done all that work too. And they're now attracted to you and what you're doing because you've done it as well. And you're going to attract the same type of person. So don't ever for a moment think that the time that you're spending behind the scenes doing all that personal growth stuff is not worthwhile. It absolutely is the soil that we have to work with. So a couple really quick things I just want to share about belief. And clearly at the very beginning of my journey, I recognized that belief was everything. And I actually even called my corporation See It When You Believe It, Inc. Because I truly believe that when you believe something, you're going to see it. Now, there are times where I felt challenged with that because sometimes I believed it, but I wasn't seeing it yet, you know? So you start to question, really, is this possible? Can this really happen? And absolutely it can. But if you're even wavering a little bit on your belief in any area, it might not happen. So you really have to get clear on what you do believe. And I remember hearing the quote, I can't remember who said it, but even 99% belief is still 1% doubt. So if you're even wavering 1% doubt, you've got to get that to 100%. So one of the areas in belief that I really had a hard time with for the first 2 years was my belief in the network marketing profession. And back then, when I started, we weren't really coached a lot on belief. We heard a bit about it, but we didn't learn that we could actually change our belief needle within 7 days in most of the areas. So when I actually learned that, I decided to get this book in my hand, The Business of the 21st Century, and it literally changed my belief from about a 4 out of 10 to a solid 10 out of 10 within 7 days. So if any of you are wavering right now in the belief in network marketing, please get this book. And if you want a copy, I've got copies I can lend to you or I can give to you. It's the most amazing book. So, you know, that's usually one of the areas that most of us have a lower belief in. So that is my go-to. And even still to this day, if I start getting some of those doubts coming back, I open that book and I review it. Now, I would have to say, Tinya, do I have like 3 more minutes? Okay. I know that through this journey, and some of you are there, some of you have been here a while, some of you are just getting started. No matter where you are in your journey, the belief in yourself is probably going to be that moving target all the time. You're going to have days where you believe in yourself so much and you're like, I can do anything, I can do this, I can pick up the phone 50 times and I don't care how many no's I get. And then there's going to be those days where you just go, oh my gosh, I just don't have it today. And that's normal. I just want to say that's totally normal. So there are some really great books, and I know some of you know my journey the last year, and it's been a challenging journey. It's been really crazy. But I know that there's a reason for that. And I know that when we go through these moments of self-doubt and lack of belief in ourselves, that's just a place for us to grow even more. So that was a time for me to really dive deep into my personal growth. And a couple of the books, I mean, if you saw my bookshelves right now, it's overflowing with belief in self books. And I can give you a list of them if you want more, but The two that really stuck out to me when I was really thinking about this from that place today was the very first one that I really dove into was called Nothing Changes Until You Do, and it was written by Mike Robbins. I have to say this has probably been one of the most beneficial books for me in this whole place of belief in myself in the last little while. And the reason that I say that is because it really talks about everything we've learned a lot from stage, when we hear talks, when we get on calls, but it's a reminder in our hands, and we can highlight and mark it down. And I mean, you look at it and it's literally so many chapters. It's got 40 chapters, but here are some of the titles of the chapters just to give you some ideas. Focus on what truly matters. Be gentle with yourself. Be real, not right. Love yourself and the rest will follow. Don't take yourself too seriously. Ask for what you want. Trust your gut. Appreciate people. It's just, I mean, it goes on and on and on. It's amazing. Practice gratitude. Have the courage to be vulnerable. This book is a life changer, guys. I'm going to say right now, it was written in 2014, and it's an absolute. And the chapters are so short that you can read literally a chapter a night in 5 minutes and get through that book no problem. The other one that I just finished recently was from Louise Hay called The Power is Within You. And again, another one where if you working out, I honor all of you who work out so amazingly, and that's still something I'm working towards. But this whole idea of working between here is just as important, in my opinion, as working out is. So get the right books in your mind, guys, and you're going to do amazing.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tara. Oh my gosh, such great information. You guys give it up for Tara. Raise the roof or a clap, whatever, if your mics are open. We love you. Thank you so much for that information. And I agree 1,000%. You know, coming from someone who have worked in fitness my whole entire life, you know, I went as a young girl, I was always very active, developed a back injury, you know, was flat out, literally on a stretcher, taken off the soccer field. Gymnastics was, you know, my dream. It was no more. And that really led me into, you know, eating challenges as a young girl, which led me into working in the health industry. But what I'll say about that is I was always about fitness, because I believed that exercise was the answer and I knew nutrition was important, but because that was, you know, where I wanted to focus on that in a healthy way. That wasn't what I focused on. I focused on the fitness. And then fast forward, you know, my journey when Isagenix came into my world, it was because my body shut down on me. Fitness wasn't the solution anymore. Exercise wasn't the solution because I could barely brush my teeth. So for me to get to the gym wasn't going to happen. So what I realize now, and I'm not saying exercise is not important, it absolutely is, but what we offer people is the solutions. When people start feeling better in their bodies, they start feeling healthier in their mind, they start to feel energetic and excited and open to the possibilities of more movement. And that's where, you know, if I told Jason, if I told you to train this, you know, to what you've been doing 3 years ago, you would have been like, you know, no way, no freaking way. But now you have the ability because your body has the nutrition and it has been cleansed so that it can get to that point. And I always tell people, you've heard you can't out exercise a bad diet, but also it's not just about the fitness and the nutrition, because mentally our belief system, it's just like with Isagenix talking to people. I can tell you to talk to people all day long. If there is something in your mind where someone has said to you, you know, what are you talking about? You know, why are you feeling that way? Or you've been in some way sabotaged, or you've self-sabotaged based on something someone has said or done, and you've chosen to feel that internally, until you bust through that BS, like Tara says, if your belief is at 99% within yourself, it will be challenging to be able to really come across with complete conviction. When Jason talks about the results with the products, that he's talking from conviction, you know, with conviction. So it's really important to work on that belief piece with yourself. So Tara, thank you for those great, amazing resources. So powerful. And I just want to close us out. I appreciate you guys sticking around. I really do, because we have gone over time, but I think it's been so valuable. I hope you've got great value from tonight's call. Tara and Jason have totally rocked it. But one thing, this is my little book. Whenever I read books, I have a bajillion like Tara. I always make notes. And something that stood out for tonight was that everything in the past has actually been perfect. And Jason talked about our past, that quote that he said. Everything in your past has led you to this transformative event and moment in time. Everyone, including you, has always done the best they could with what they knew at the time. So we're learning. We're getting better and better and better every day. And it's time to start looking outside of ourselves for the answers to why we haven't created the life and the results that we want. Today's a new day. It is you who creates the quality of the life you lead and the results that you produce. And when it comes to, you know, reaching out, using these tools, these incredible things that, you know, Scott mentioned last week, Jason mentioned today, Tara has mentioned, so many people. We've got Sandra coming on next week to rock the house, talking about follow-up and three-way calls. The reality is, you guys, that the more people that we ask and talk to, the probability that more of them will say yes. But not only that, you know, Tara touched on this, and so did Jason, about connecting. The more people you meet, you know, people show up the way they're supposed to show up. And the more people you meet, the higher the probability that one of them will be who you're meant to meet to help your goal and their goals become reality. You know, there's a reason. There's always a reason. So on that note, I'm going to close out the call. Next week, we've got Heather Full. She's going to talk to us about the Scooby Snacks, those little hockey pucks, all right, and why they're so important. Some people don't like them. They get stuck in your teeth. Wham, wham, wham. They're important and they serve a purpose. Let's talk about it. I've got Sandra Tartaglia. I think she's here somewhere, that little beauty. And she's going to be touching on, as I said, presenting in three-way calls, which would be fantastic. And then Heather is going to wrap it up talking to us about goal setting. How can we do effective goal setting for goal achievement? It's one thing to write goals down, you know, tattoo them on our arms, whatever. But if we do not do it in a way that's effective, then goal achievement doesn't take place. And that's what's key about goal setting. So if you guys want to go, feel free to chat in the chat. You want to open your mics. We're going to do a selfie shot here before we close out. But again, big love to you, Jason and Tara. Thank you for your invaluable information. And to each and every one of you for being here. So if you guys feel like not being shy, open up your video so we can get a selfie shot here. I always forget. Is it Command-Shift-4?
I think I look pretty good.
Oh, I did it. Okay, are you guys ready?
We'll go with it.
Okay,
We're
1,
ready.
2, 3.
Oh.
You guys rock. Awesome. Okay, we'll do one more time. Hold on. One more time.
Before we close off, can I add about Global Contribution Day or Global Give Back?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait, let me take a selfie.
Yeah.
Did you get that? That's like the song. Okay, Lena, Global Contribution Day, go.
For anybody that's in Barrie, on this coming Saturday, we're going to do Global Give Back, and we're collecting donations for the Youth Haven. So if you want to be part of that, or if you have anything that you want to get rid of, they're looking for new and used clothes and new hygiene products like toothbrushes, deodorant, toothpaste. So if you have anything that you want to contribute, or if you just want to send some money over so that we can go out and buy that, then contact me or Jacqueline Pennock, and we can set that up. And if you want to come out and join, that would be awesome next Saturday.
Awesome. And you guys, feel free to post in Star Canada any takeaways from the call tonight. Anything you want to share, Tara? If you could throw the names of the books in Star Canada, that would be really helpful. People were looking for that. And anything else about Global Give Back Day, you guys, please put that in there. Awesome. Thank you all again for being here tonight. And bye to the spouses. It's so cool to see all the spouses on the call here tonight. Thanks, guys, for being here. Kim, Rebecca. Awesome. Okay, big love you guys.
Bye, everybody.